Hello everybody and welcome back to Vintage Survival. So in the previous episode we were doing the grass cutting here because we need to make some hay for the horses. Now this episode has actually been recorded before the previous episode has even been published, so I don't know what everybody recommended or suggested as names for the two horses. So next week will be the time when we reveal the names which have been chosen. If you do want to choose names, then please do post on the previous episode, because that's where I'm going to be looking. You can post on this episode if you want to, but yeah, that's not where I'm going to be looking for the best two names. So anyway, let's head back to the farm. Let's go and grab a tedder, and we'll return. When we've done the tedding, we are going to rest. So that is going to bring in quite a bit of overnight income from the honey. And then in the next in-game day, still this episode, we need to sort out all the straw as well. So there's plenty to be getting on with. So that is the tedder that we have. I won't necessarily be using this tractor with the tedder, but it's just a way of transporting it. There we go. Although actually it probably will be fine. Okay, so here I've just put the tractor around the corner, and we're actually going to use the Massey Ferguson. This really is fine. It's a good tractor to use, and also it matches it, the colour, so that's good. Right, so yep, that seems to be changing the state of the grass. Looking good. Yeah, so we'll get this done, and then we'll rest. I mustn't forget to feed the chickens. They're not desperate for feed, but it's something that's going to have to be done. And in case I sound kind of weird in this video, it's because of my hay fever, as usual. Always gets me this time of year. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we couldn't get rid of the weeds. I did have the rail mower mod, but for some strange reason it didn't work on these ones, even though it's worked on other weeds on this same map. So I'm not too sure the exact reason for that. Somebody might have posted it in the previous episode. As I said, I'll be taking a look at the comments. Oh no, bit of straw getting into there. Yeah, I do need to prioritise picking up the straw after the hay. Okay, so there we go. Because we're not running seasons, the hay isn't a light colour, and I just love this tedder. It's just one belt that runs from that pulley around the huge pulley on here, and then it crosses over to change the direction onto there, and then back to the start. It's really simple, and obviously really effective. So yeah, let's get this tedder taken back to the farm. We don't need it again at the moment. We will have to return with a windrower, but first we must rest. The horses have everything they require, so they're good. I will see you back over at the farm. I think I probably will just bale the straw and we'll sell the bales instead of using a loading wagon. Best thing to do is to use what we've got. Okay, so yeah, we don't need those things. We will need the baler soon. Do we actually have a windrow? I'm not sure if we do. I've not windrowed before. Anyway, as I said, we must sleep. Sleep is good. In the morning we shall have much more money. There we are, we have £29,000. The Ursus is already over at the store. So if I don't want to use, it's Vintage Survival. That's not really vintage. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's anything on ModHub. Fantastic, look at this. Really nice old-fashioned rake. We can change the colour. I think probably the default colour is actually fine. But what should we go for? Should we go with Massey Ferguson again? I think the hardy colour actually is quite nice. It's sort of faded red. So we'll have that. And I regret not turning growth off completely. It was only set to normal, so you would expect it to be a normal growth speed, but the grass has almost fully regrown. And that's not normal. That would be ultra fast. I can't even begin to imagine how long it would have taken to fully regrow if it was set to fast. It's unbelievable. So yeah, in future, overnight, crop growth is going to have to be completely off. But it doesn't mean that we can't do this. We should still be able to do this. As soon as we start rowing, it should make the hay more obvious. And actually, this is quite a good working width. I think it said 4 meters, so we'll stick with the Ursus. It's not the fastest tractor ever, but it doesn't need to be on this map. Right, okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at how long it is. I think it's 1 stage off fully regrown. That is just ridiculous. Okay, let's hope it is working. It is working, you can see it. Not good. Not good at all. But we can still use the grass, well, the hay which is here. Yeah, I should have just turned it off. I've had that issue before. I didn't learn from my mistake. I didn't even think that normal is just not normal. It's always so fast. I suppose when they say normal, they're sort of talking in gaming terms. Grass, to get this long from being cut in peak growing periods would probably be a week to 2 weeks. Not overnight. So yeah, it's kind of messed up my hay plans, but not to worry. We're going to be cultivating this up in the future, and we're going to be redoing it without the weeds. And I won't be resting unless it's off the growth rate. So yep, I'll try and salvage the situation, and then we can start to pick it up. I think we're probably going to use a bucket. There's such a tiny amount. Well, there we go. We've got a few swaths. Amazingly, this tractor isn't lifting it high enough. I don't know what kind of tractor would have to have this on for it to lift the rake completely off the ground, unless there is an independent control. I don't think there is though. No. Okay, right, so let's get into onto the Massey Ferguson, and we can commence scooping. But first, yeah, let's just put that there. Should be fine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the terrain editing. It's going to make it look much neater. And I'm hoping we can just sort of whiz over all of the straw fields, get them baled quickly, and then we can make a bit of fast money. Well, it did fill up quickly. How much do they take? There is space for some more hay. I wouldn't have thought there was space for all of it, but we'll just fill it to capacity, and then I'll probably just store the rest of it in a pile. Right, so I've just put the final 200 litres into there. There was 600 or so in the bucket, but we've hit the capacity of 8,000 litres. We do need to plant some oats, so that'll be the future crop. But yeah, before we do anything else with the straw, let's just do a bit of terrain editing, because we do have the money. I'm going to set my brush strength pretty high, and I'm essentially just going to level. because we've got this big bank and it's not that comfortable to go up and down. So as mentioned on a variety of occasions, I do need to get the plough, or the cultivator, and get this whole area ripped up so that we can put some really nice grass in. Okay. It's fairly smooth here. But yeah, this needs to be sorted out. Let's just get this down. There we go. It really doesn't matter too much about this piece. We're not going to be walking around here very much. So that's more gradual. It's a much more gradual slope. I'm going to go and put this windrow back in the yard. And I'm going to return with the baler. Although looking at the mess I've made, I probably should just roll this up again. Although it might not have much of an effect. That's better than nothing. Yeah, I'm really not myself today. Pretty tired. It's unusual because I love recording this series. I've been extremely busy though, so yeah, not much energy left. You just get those days sometimes when you just wear yourself out completely. Okay, good. That is now going to be tidy enough for the baler. So we're going to bring the baler and the trailer at the same time. It's all connected up together. Yeah, it's raised up, but it's still contacting the ground. I think we'll do the baling with the Ursus because it's got the power. And then we can very quickly cart things back to the sell point. And we actually have 2 other fields to do. We have every field currently with straw in it. I've never actually filled the trailer to capacity, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can fit everything in. It's unlikely, but we'll see. At a guess, because we're starting off at the yard, doing the field there is going to make sense. So we'll do that one first, and then we'll come up here, we'll get that piece done. At that point I would expect the trailer to be quite full, so we'll probably go and take it to a sell point. And then we'll go to the biggest field at the end to get all of that sorted out as well. I wonder if the chickens need any food. Nope, although cleanliness isn't very good. I think I need to get a broom. We'll do that in the future. We'll get a broom. There's my trailer. And my baler's just down here. Could use the Massey Ferguson, but since we're in here, we'll use this. Right, just got to hunt for the drawbar. Somewhere in the grass. I think the wheels are straight. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So we'll lower it, we'll unfold it, and we'll begin. Everything seems to be functioning. So yeah, with this thing, if you're turning at the same time that a bale is ready, it won't necessarily go into the trailer. So we might have to pick a few things up afterwards, but that doesn't really matter too much. Looking good. So I think, yeah, I'll get this done and I'll see you over at the field which we've just been working in. Here we are. So it's producing those bales extremely quickly. It would appear that first swath was very, very profitable. But actually, although the trailer isn't anywhere near full, we do need to take some out, because I'd like to keep some of these bales for the horses. So it's going to mean just getting them out by hand, but that doesn't really matter too much. Some will be dropped on the ground. I think if I just spin round, try and get the trailer aligned so that one actually hits the trailer. Not that it matters if it doesn't. Oh, it's not going to hit it now. Oh, it did. Wow. It's a bit of a game getting it lined up. But yeah, I'm going to be in there throwing them out again. It's more so I don't lose them, because I've actually lost one. I've definitely lost one from the previous field. I know roughly where it went, but it's just vanished. It's in the undergrowth somewhere. Got a few bits and bobs everywhere. I'll try and tidy them up. And that is the final piece. Lovely. I'm in the neighbour's crop. I'm sure they will not be happy. So, yeah, there's a bale. The trigger is just over here, but I don't think we need to put them actually in the trigger. We can keep them just here. If it was seasons, they'd have to be undercover. But we don't really need to worry about it. We'll just keep them pretty close. So all we have to do is pick one up and throw it into there. It probably won't take that though until I get a bucket again. Might have to scoop it up and tip it. I dropped a bale over here. There it is. And that's why I like to get them into the trailer first, because you can just lose them. Okay. And yeah, I don't know how many we actually need. It's 600 litres per bale, which is quite good. I think maybe if we keep 8 here, that's probably too much, but yeah, so we've already got 3. Okay, didn't go terribly well. There we go. 6. Whoop. 7. And finally 8. So I'll just stack those really neatly over here. We don't have to be too concerned about what they look like, but it is nice to make them look neat. There we go. 8 bales. Not perfectly stacked, but it's still 8 bales, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we do have the space in the trailer to get a few more in. So we'll head over to our final field, which is actually the biggest field, and we will just fill it to capacity, unless of course we haven't finished the field. If they start piling out of the trailer before we finished, we're just going to have multiple trips to the sell point. But it's looking unlikely that that's going to be the case. I think we probably will be okay with just filling the trailer up once. Right, yeah, I need to learn from my mistake here. Is press Y, get rid of that bale, then we can fold it up so it will fit nicely through here. Thing is, if you do get the trailer too full, you just start losing them everywhere. I would have thought the chickens have laid many eggs. Yeah. In the next episode we can sell that. What does it end up being? Something like £20,000 per crate? It's amazing. Absolutely, well, you could say excellent. But that is quite an old joke. I make it all the time. But yeah, it is excellent. Very good. Yeah, it's a bit thin on the ground, the straw here. But the good thing is, once this field is done... How did I manage to get a grass bale? That's weird. Yes. Once it's done, it means that every field is empty. So we can just go along with the cultivator, getting all the fields prepared for the next crop. And it's looking likely that what we need is... Well, there's 2 different crop types. Oats for the horses, and wheat and barley for the chickens. Not the most exciting crop types, but they're not for selling, so it's not like we're trying to make a fortune out of them. Because as we've already established, there's plenty of money in the chickens, and I'm guessing there's a lot of money in the horses. Well, it's pretty much full. There's another bale. We should have enough straw just to get that one into there. Although there might be another one. Come on, drop. Please. It's going to be on a turn. Anyway, we've got another one to pick up. Seems to be out of bounds. Yeah, so we've got a piece of straw down there. We've got a bale just here. The trailer probably can hold a bit more, but it's very, very close. It's going to start spilling out of there. So all I want to do is get enough straw for that bale to drop. This should do it. Oh, you saw it move in a stage. Sort of step backwards. Okay, if you just press Y, it sort of forces it. And the final bale. Lovely. So we have got quite a few. I'm just going to leave the trailer there. I'll fold the baler up, put it back in the yard, and then we can head off to the store or the barn and we can make our money. But yeah, that's another good job done. The fields are now ready to be cultivated with the mighty Ursus. It's all to come in the next episode. I think the honey is still being sold. It is still full, still all piled up outside. I think we're going to be selling honey for the rest of this series. And yeah, very soon, probably in 1 or 2 episodes time, we're going to be expanding the yard. As mentioned in the previous episode, there probably won't be another crop in this field here. And yes, you can only reverse one way with this baler. I should have done the loop. There we go. So actually, the Ursus I think is slower than the Massey Ferguson. Oh, it's exactly the same. Okay, well we used the Massey Ferguson to go and sell this. They seem to be all 19 miles per hour, which must be 30k. It's nice to use a different tractor anyway. And the header trailer does need to be returned very soon. I think that's probably the most bales I've ever had in one of these trailers. That is impressive. I don't think there's any way of strapping them. Nope. So we just need to drive carefully. There is a road just up here. And the random hay bale, or grass bale, should be sold at the same place, so we shouldn't have an issue there. That's a very good load. Nice. The power of the Massey Ferguson. 185 multi-power. Okay, need to make sure I don't hit a cement mixer, because that always goes badly. We always end up upside down. And this is our barn. So, hard to predict how much we're going to make. I'm going to go with £3,000. That's what I'd be happy with. Wow, 6561. I'm very happy with that. Right, so with that good news, let's head back to the farm. We'll park up, and that'll be it for today. We'll just go over here. Lovely. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.